When Barb Kobren's local animal shelter needed money for a new building, as a dog lover, she felt compelled to help. Instead of raising money, though, through fundraisers, Barb aimed much higher and launched her own business. The BobbySue's Nuts founder joins me to talk about her success. Barb, welcome. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So talk to me about why in the world you decided to start your own business to help the animal shelter rather than just working through local fundraisers. What gave you the idea?
Well, the idea was really sitting in front of me in my kitchen. And my partner and founder, also a member and an officer of the board of the shelter, SPCA of Westchester, that we were on, we said we need something other than once a year to raise money. Let's see if we can do something in food. We love to cook. And in a bowl in my kitchen was the family recipe. And we said, let's try nuts.
That is a great story. I love that. It's just kind of right in front of you. Why not? Just go for it. So you started in 2008. You opened your first storefront a year later. But it was right at the beginning of a market meltdown and the start of a Great Recession that kind of kept people away from spending extra money they had. What challenges did you face in starting a small business during those kinds of business conditions, economic conditions?
You know, what was really interesting is that we didn't think about the fact that we were in this really horrible economic climate. We were so focused on the mission of being able to do something in our local shelter and for something that we were socially so conscious about, that we said, we're going to do this, people are going to love it, everyone can afford to buy a jar of nuts and know that from that jar there was going to be something going to a population that couldn't get help on their own.
So what kind of lessons did you learn through the process of starting your business?
Well, there were many lessons. First of all, we started the business local, and that's what you have to do. You have to get your support there.
Right.
We went through lots of different trials and errors as to how to source our ingredients, how to find packaging. We needed a graphic designer.
The list goes on.
I mean, a food chemist. We wanted to be who we would be when we were grown up right away.
Okay.
That was hard.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. What was the hardest part about that?
The hardest part about that was that you could always see the goal line, but getting there was not fast.
Yeah.
It's a very slow process. And you know, we've been in business now in the marketplace for 5 years, and we grow every year so much. And what I didn't realize is that how much you need to grow, how much funding you need to grow, how much it takes in resources to take your product, your brand, across the marketplace. And in our case, to be able to accomplish our mission.
Right. Well, you've moved very quickly. Speaking about that, you're all over the place in New York City. I've seen you. You're at Whole Foods, Dylan's Candy Bar in the city, Murray's Cheese, and your nuts even hit the campaign trail in 2008. What's the secret? What's your secret to moving quickly like that?
One of the secrets I've always said is the relationships that you build in your life, whether they're personal or business. For me, they're the same. And so my business customers and some of my most favorite, and you talk about Dylan's and Murray's Cheese, the Denahan Hospitality Group, which is the James Hotels and the Benjamin. I formed relationships with their hospitality managers, with their cheesemongers, with the people that actually are part of their brand, and they then co-branded with us.
Okay.
And I think that if you maintain that integrity and that true relationship, and you have a great product, we have an exceptional product. We hand make it, and these customers appreciate.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a great product. They taste delicious. But before we get to those, your goal is to expand nationwide and eventually be able to help shelters across the country. How do you plan to scale your business in order to do that?
Well, right now, scaling the business, an economy of scale. Actually, I don't have a business background, but I've had my own business training for the last 5 years. And one of the ways of doing that is getting into the larger marketplaces across this country. And we are right now moving in our pipeline, as I've learned the new word, across to be able to get our product in everyone's pantry so that we are able to make it happen, because you have to sell a lot of nuts to rehabilitate shelters.
That's true. That's true. It's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. And, you know, as I said before, it's the funding that you don't think about that you need to move you to the next place. We have the facility now. We have a wonderful place where we cook our product up in Kingston, New York. So, you know, if the public wants the product, if the marketplace says, I want it, we'll bring it to them. It's sort of like Field of Dreams.
I love that. All right, so we have several of your products on set. Talk to me a little bit about it. How did you come up with the recipe? You said it was a family recipe, and you started with the original, and now you've got several different flavors.
We started with the original because that was the original flavor. But when we went to our food chemist, early on, he said, well, you need 3 flavors to go into the marketplace.
Okay? So I didn't know that.
And I didn't either. So we said, okay, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So the next thing was kind of going to family and friends, get something hot so that everyone can have it, you know, maybe after they want to have a beer or wine or, you know, something to bring the taste buds. And our nuts are great in all kinds of foods. Anyway, so the next thing was, let's do a hot. So we started experimenting with different seasonings, with different ingredients. We sent the nuts with the different heat to my sons in the different places they were in college, and their friends tried it. And we eventually got to the formula. And then we said, but then we'd like something, maybe a little dessert. So we said, okay, chocolate. Chocolate lightly, you know, because our nuts...
Not overpowering.
Not overpowering, and our nuts have no cholesterol, and they're only have the good fat.
We like that.
So it's, you know, we tried to make it a healthful snack, but delicious.
They are delicious, and I can't wait. I have to say, the hot ones were my favorite until I saw the jar of chocolate, and I think that might be my new favorite.
Yeah, I think that, you know, we like to keep everybody, you know, having not too much, you know, take your handfuls, but...
I like that. The jars are just big enough that you can indulge, but you don't have to go overboard.
And our grab-and-go bags come in our original and our Some Like It Hot, and next year we're launching Raining Chocolate in our grab-and-go.
Great. We can't wait to see what you do and how you expand. Barb, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Victoria.